Hello, I'm Sam Yan. So in my video last time, I talked about basic installation of PyQt, including why we use PyQt and how to install it mainly. So today, based on that, we are going to continue our journey in Qt. We are going to have a very general look of how to create a hello level like Qt application. So first of all, we need to start our Qt creator. In the dialog popped out here, we are going to choose File, New File or Project. And then here in the Files and Classes, we are going to choose Qt and select Qt Designer form. Because in this case, we only use Qt for like designing a GUI and then later use other Python IDE to create whole program. So till now we are all good. Click Choose. So here we can actually choose according to our needs. So if you need, say, a big application, you usually choose the main window or widget. But for our demonstration purpose, we just choose dialog without buttons and then click Next. Here we just give the file a name. Usually I would prefer capital letter. And then for this demonstration, we are going to just put it at our desktop. That's it. Then next. Here I don't use any GitHub version, so basically I'm going just click Finish. And now you can see there is a new dialog file we just created right at my desktop over here. And then there's a Qt interface we can see. Here's the menu, here toolbars. Here we can check the actions, signals, and slots, which we'll talk about later. And at the right side, we can check about the properties of each of the widgets we are using in the left side. Now what we can do is we choose a push button here. And then in display widgets here, we choose a label. And then in the property column of the label, you can see there is a text called text label. Here you can basically change it to anything you like. For example, welcome to PyQt World in Chinese. Then I can change the size of the widget, setting some beautiful properties. For example, I can change the font to better looking, choosing some cool Chinese fonts. After that, you can click OK and then adjust the size. Also, you may considering changing the color of this text. So here you can right click and choose change the style color, add a color, for example, just the color in this case. And if you welcome people, usually in China, you choose some red color for traditional Chinese reasons. Then click OK. Now you can see the color of the thing changed to red. Using similar approach, we can change the button to I know in Chinese as an example. And you might also change the style sheet of it. For example, add a color to, for example, purple, which is really not a design, but just for demonstration purpose. And simply click OK. And click OK here. So the font of the button changed to purple. And then after finishing adjusting the button, you can kind of editing the size of your window to a way that you feel it's okay. Like this. So in step 1, you then finish the component setting of the GUI, which is usually the first step you do for your GUI programming. Next step, usually you add some actions to this GUI design. Here you choose the button and then click Edit Signals and Slots. To add some actions to this GUI, because Qt is using signal slot action, what you can do is here click Edit Signals and Slots, and then you can click the button to try to add action. In this case, I'll just select clicked for push button. And then basically you can click OK. Now you can switch the menu to Signal Slots Edit. What we want to do is we click the button and the dialog closed. So here the receiver is the dialog instead of the button. Now that we've finishing all the design and the event, basically this GUI can be considered as finished. Also, one notice is that you can set the layout of this window by right click, change some layout. Here, like a layout button, you can, for example, choose vertical layout. You can break the layout if you think it's ugly, like you can then manage it. Okay, after finishing all those, click Save Dialog UI, and pretty much the GUI part of the application is done for now. After we've done the UI, the next step is we need to convert this dialog into a Python file so that we can have some codes related to it. To do this, open your command and then type in PyUIC5-0, which is the object Python file you want to transfer to, and then click enter. Now you can see this hello dialog.py here available for you to program with. So here hello dialog.py is a simple Python translation of all those settings we've done in dialog.ui. Here I'll use a spider to create another Python file that is going to call hello dialog.py. So here is our dialog.py. For now, I just creating a new file at desktop as well called show dialog.py. Code I'm going to use, including this one, is just using a Q widget, which is a usual class that you write, and then UI dialog is the class over here in hello dialog, and we just call the setup function and pass in the self parameter here. Here self, as you can see, means my widget, and then we can just write a function to call the Q application object and then formed up a Q widget. Finally, just show and exit the program. So let's try. Now we can see here this welcome to PyQt world, and then if I click I know, the dialog just disappeared. As another tip, sometimes you want to encapsulate your user interface. Say for example, you don't want other programs to access this UI. What you can do is to have a private decorator. This one is the code basically from Mark Lutz in his book Learning Python. Then just you call the decorator, pass in the parameter you want to encapsulate. So in this case, other programs outside cannot access your .ui property in your program, and then it still works. So in today's video, we talk about how to create a UI briefly. You use Qt Creator to set up the GUI at the first, including all the components and their events. You can also change in the program about the events, which we'll dig into details much later than this. For now, the important thing you need to know is that Qt Creator sets up all your components and possibly events. And after we got the Qt Creator done our dialog, we'll need to set up a Python program to manage this GUI to make it alive. And then to transfer dialog to your Python callable log object, then you use PyUIC5-0, the target of your Python program and the UI file. Basically, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I'm Sam Yan. See you next time.